Action. Hi, my name is Krista. I am the writer and creator of Sidekicks. To my top left is Monica, who plays Perplexia. And to my bottom left is Maddie, who plays Red Thorn. Um, I had a blank mind for a minute. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna listen to episode 9, Kittens of Chaos Part 2, and then Q&A, and then Kittens of Chaos Part 3, and then Q&A. So here we go. Here is Kittens of Chaos Part 2, episode 9.
Anything back yet?
No. Actually, wait. I just got an email from the gamer.
Red Thorn taps on the incoming email and begins to read.
My dearest partner.
Unfortunately, I cannot assist in the normal city takeover because I am at a comic convention in Macro City and won't be back until Monday. From now on, please let me know 2 weeks in advance when you plan to take over a city. Have fun.
I hope all goes well.
The
gamer.
That's fine. We didn't need him anyways.
You don't expect us to take over this whole school with just you and I, and whatever that is.
Dr. Poison nods his head towards Red Thorn, who glares at the evil scientist.
I am a villain training. Thank you very much.
That's enough, you two. Redthorn, have you heard from Perplexia or Crocodile?
Perplexia should be here. And any minute.
There is a gentle knock that interrupts Red Thorn's sentence. Black Panther gets up and opens the door. A child-sized girl with green hair and blue skin stands before her. Black Panther smiles slowly.
Perplexia! So glad you could make it.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I never played with the Hero's Child before. This is going to be so much fun. Who else is joining the party?
Perplexia looks around and spots Maverick in his evil pod and Dr. Poison sitting in a giant beanbag.
Ew. Why is he here?
I was going to ask the same question about you. Isn't it past your bedtime?
Oh, that's funny. Feel any romantic interests lately? Okay, calm down, children. We can fight after we take over Normal City.
I can't wait to rip the heads off all those little hero children. I can still do that, right?
Of course you can. But first, we have to go to the actual threats.
I just love killing heroes of all shapes and sizes. When do we start?
Meanwhile, in the sidekick classroom, everyone is staring at Lightning Bolt in awe. No one could have guessed.
I did guess. It was like episode 5 or something.
No one could have guessed that Miss Cambridge and Lightning Bolt were one and the same.
This is so cool! Why is it this class got the 2 best superheroes, and we got a psycho villain that's obsessed with cats?
Seriously? Who hired the teachers here?
We need a plan. Roland, do you have one since you've been undercover?
Well, I wasn't expecting this so soon, so not really.
Great. I guess we're winging it.
Lightning Bolt looks around the room at her students and the 3 older children.
We need bait. Justice, Baron, and Maddie.
Who the heck is Baron?
She actually remembered my name this time. Did she just say bait?
About 5 minutes later, Justice, Bryce, and Maddie are pushed into the dark hallway with flickering lights.
Of course she remembers my name, only to throw me to the wolves. Why aren't the sidekicks bait? They're the useless ones.
Yeah, we actually have powers that we can control.
Speak for yourself.
Justice, Maddie, and Bryce continue walking down the hall until they hear a series of doors open and close.
Did you hear that?
You mean you don't have powers yet? Aren't you 14 or something?
Finally, someone actually realizes that I'm not a child. Guys, seriously.
What's so funny, Maddie?
That wasn't me. That wasn't me either.
Perplexia pops up almost out of nowhere with a basket of rope, handcuffs, and gags.
Will you play with me? How old are you? Will you play with me? Pretty please. This Panther said you would.
Guys, I think we should run.
Suddenly, a scaly-looking man comes from out of the shadows. His skin is green, and he's wearing a trench coat.
Nah, kiddos. I don't like playing games very much either. But the little princess gets very violent when she doesn't get ready.
Meanwhile, back in the Sidekicks room, no one notices Derek staring long and hard at Captain Whirlwind. Captain Whirlwind clears his throat and shuffles on the balls of his feet awkwardly. Calvin and Cassie are staring at Lightning Bolt in awe, while Ashlyn still has a smug look on her face.
Well, Black Panther thinks she's won because she has all the older kids in her grasp. You four will go in and save the day.
Wait, why don't you just go in there and kick her butt like you always do? Our powers aren't exactly superpowers. I still have a hard time reversing colors.
And I've grown out my hair too much already.
Yeah, and Mr. Accuracy would probably bore the villains to death with the little-known facts that nobody cares about.
I hate you, Ashlyn.
Oh no, whatever shall I do? Calvin hates me.
Well, I guess I'm going in alone. Sucks that you losers don't have good powers.
Derek starts to walk out the door, but Captain Whirlwind grabs him by the t-shirt collar.
All right, that's enough. Think of this as your final test. We can't go in there, even though we're heroes, because there is nothing worse than going into the field with your enemy suspecting you. Black Panther knows I'm here, and she thinks Black Lightning is retired.
It's Lightning Bolt, you jerk.
And wouldn't dare show her face in public because, she was utterly humiliated. You guys should have seen the look on her face. It was as if she'd walked into an assembly naked and was about to give a speech, only to realize she'd forgotten to put her clothes on. It was
They get it. Thanks.
Okay, my point is, you four are our secret weapons. They won't assume you can do anything to stop them.
Because we can't do anything to stop them.
All right, enough sugarcoating the situation. Remember those tests I gave you? This is the real deal. You either use what you have, or we all die.
But you weren't captured. You know, you could help us. Why won't you do what you're already trained to do?
Honestly, because I've played the role of being evil for so long in order to trick Black Panther and keep her unfocused on you four, I have to do something that might cause some tension between Lightning Bolt and I.
What are you talking about?
Suddenly, clouds fill the room and all the desks start swirling in a tornado-like fashion. All the kids start screaming again, and it's so dusty with chalk dust and desks breaking that none of the children can see what's going on. As this is happening, we revisit the cellar of the school where the villains are hiding. Perplexia has Bryce, Maddie, and Justice tied up and gagged.
I brought you a little gift, Black Panther. Do you like them? They're all neatly wrapped up and everything.
Oh, look, it's my tardy students and Gemma, Justine,
It's Justice.
I believe it's Justice.
I believe I don't care.
When does real fun happen? I want to smash things.
In time, I'm waiting to see what the heroes do.
Translation. She's waiting to see if her beloved Whirlwind has actually backstabbed her.
Red Thorn, my sweet little thorn in my side. Shut up.
Sorry, mistress.
So, this Kitten of Chaos thing, that's not actually the name of our villain union, is it?
Of course not. Only for those who are under my tutelage. We are henceforth the myriad of evil.
More. I like it.
What?
Myriad. Evil. Ah, the E. Silent.
The door opens slowly, creaking like it does. The doors are really old. It's a bit of a shocker that the cellar is still in working order. In the center of the room, Bryce, Justice, and Maddie are tied up to chairs that Croc put them on. Of course, Perplexia readjusted them to look like human dolls that were tied up to the chairs. Captain Whirlwind drops Lightning Bolt in an empty chair.
No, no, no! up and everything. Your present is just thrown over your shoulder like a barbarian.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
I'm Perplexia, duh. I'm Black Panther's new favorite helper. Miss Panther, why is there a hero here? Shouldn't we be ripping him limb from limb?
I like that idea. Let's do that. I am getting bored.
Now. Let's see what he brought as an apology gift, shall we? Don't take too long, Captain Whirlwind. I have a violent little princess and an angry crocodile, and I don't think they're as patient as I am.
I brought you Lightning Bolt before she could go through with her plan to stop you. I should get a medal.
You think I'm actually worried about her? That's ridiculous. All I have to do is reveal her alias to these three, and she's dead. Croc, I'm tired of this conversation. Tie him up with Lightning Bolt. In a way, Captain Whirlwind, you did save me the trouble of having to find you.
What? I literally brought you Lightning Bolt on a platter. Not once, but twice. And you're holding me hostage? Noriko, what about us?
Here we go.
Oh, that's incredibly sweet that you actually believed there was an us. But you and Lightning Bolt have too much history. I could never come between that. Oh, wait. I did.
Haha, very funny.
I'm going to give it to you straight. If you betrayed your ex-fiancé so easily a year ago, how do I know you won't betray me?
Everyone in the room is quiet. All eyes are on Captain Whirlwind, who looks like an anvil was dropped on top of him. He barely feels Croc grab him roughly and tie him to the chair behind Lightning Bolt. Whatever he was planning, it doesn't seem to be going in his favor. The sudden flash of wood catches Captain Whirlwind's eyes, however, as he struggles to get loose. Croc is lifting a thick bat, and he swings it towards Captain Whirlwind, knocking him out cold.
Sleep tight, Captain Whirlwind.
Meanwhile, the children are tiptoeing through the halls, trying to be as quiet as possible.
All I have to do is go to the room and pretend like I'm helping. I'm a villain's daughter after all. Isn't that what you always remind me?
Shouldn't we actually make sure Dr. Poison is in there? I calculate that you will have a 5% chance of pulling one over on Black Panther.
And if my dad is in there, what is the percentage of pulling one over on them?
How much does he actually like you?
He wants to take over the family business. I would say he likes me a lot.
You have a 75% chance of pulling one over on them. It depends on how well you can lie to your dad.
That's like a C grade, isn't it? Good enough. Let's just find the classroom.
The children tiptoe down the hallways even more, following the candy trail that was left for them by Captain Whirlwind. This lasts for another 15 minutes until they find the door of the cellar of the school.
Okay, so once I get their attention and distract them, you could slip in and get our friends out.
Bryce and Maddie are our friends. Yeah, they've been mean to us since forever.
But isn't being a hero saving everyone? Not just the people you like. Otherwise, you aren't heroes, right? Isn't that what you want to be?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Sidekicks on 3.
3 on what?
I mean, let's huddle and...
Everyone stares at Ashlyn. The boys shake their head, and Cassie just looks confused.
Never mind, you guys are no fun.
Ashlyn pushes the door open, and all the villains freeze. Ashlyn spots her dad, and his eyes widen.
Ashlyn, what are you doing here?
Ooh, a new doll to play with. Can I rip her head off?
Yeah, of course.
No.
Poison, why is your daughter here?
Ashlyn stands there, stiff for a moment, looking incredibly scared until she spots Bryce, Maddie, and Justice tied up, as well as Captain Whirlwind knocked out and Lightning Bolt just starting to wake up.
I want to be a villain too, like them.
She points to Maverick and Cohen, who are in their villain pod.
Maddie and Bryce were talking about it, and it just sounded so cool. Lightning Bolt didn't teach us anything. I mean, she taught us things, but I want to work with you, Daddy.
Black Panther doesn't look too convinced of this little girl's claim to wanting to be evil all of a sudden.
Well, I suppose we can put you in the pod thing. What's it called again, Redthorn?
Redthorn shrugs her shoulders. Some sidekick she is.
But I'm Dr. Poison's daughter, so do I really need to be evilized? You don't even have to convince me. Daddy, tell them.
Dr. Poison looks perplexed as Lightning Bolt wakes up even further and frowns. Everything looks blurry to her, but she suddenly realizes that Ashlyn is in their room but doesn't see the other kids. Did their plan not work? Lightning Bolt asks herself.
It is a tad bit odd, Ashlyn. I thought you wanted to be a hero. You even begged me to come to this school instead of Evil Academy.
Well, how can I be a good villain if I can't see things from a hero's point of view? I'll even help keep the prisoners tied up, and I'll help create bombs or just whatever.
I don't know. Are you certain we can trust your daughter?
Everyone seems to be focused on Ashlyn and the dilemma of whether she should join the group. No one notices Calvin, Derek, and Cassie slip inside. No one except Lightning Bolt. She has a worried expression, but tries her best to hide it.
Wait, I have bombs. I can tie them to the victims. I mean, hostages. Come on, little Ashlyn. Let's blow them away.
I don't normally trust little girls, but if Plexia lets you, then we won't have a problem. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Will the sidekicks save the day in time? Will Ashlyn be doomed to commit a crime? I guess we'll find out on the next episode of Sidekicks. Until next time. This episode was sponsored by TW Bats. Want to have a nice afternoon playing catch with your dad? Or maybe you need to break into a house. Perhaps the superhero you've captured isn't being very cooperative. At TW Bats, we have the best quality when it comes to baseball bats made out of... guys, it's a bat. Do I really need to go into the quality of wood here? I mean, come on. It's made out of the finest materials. You obviously know the business plan works. Buy this thing, please. We need the money. Come on, guys. We got sponsors and everything. All right. Thanks for listening. Have an evil day. See what I did there? Someone needs to stop writing these. Seriously. Okay, whatever. I'm out.
Okay, you guys can come off mute now.
Sorry. People are probably seeing us live and don't know what's going on because it's not like the chat's there. I feel like every time we listen to this episode, I'm like discovering new stuff, and I'm like, there are things I don't remember, but clearly they have happened.
All right, Monica, what's your favorite part of this episode?
I always love listening to the little babies like make their plan, and the line of like, "Come on, isn't that what it means to be a hero?" And I'm like, it just like touches me in that warm fuzzy spot. Like, yes, even if you don't like them, you should say that. That's some straight wholesome logic, and I like that.
I think that was like her best line of the whole season. Like, guys, shouldn't we save them even if we don't like them?
Yes.
Clearly, Ashlyn is too advanced for this class. She's like AP psychic, like she's just on a different level.
She's a philosophy major in the making because yes, she's right. It's like when we're younger, we're so selfish. We're like, yeah, I'm gonna eat all their cookies, but like maybe I should share some. So she's just a moral compass that I like.
Exactly. I like that she's the moral like I feel like the other kids would be like, well, I'm just gonna share with our classroom, not the older kids' classroom, because they're just mean. And Ashlyn's like, but we have enough cookies for everyone.
They're like, but okay, Ashlyn.
The kids are like, more cookies for me then.
Exactly. For everybody.
We are everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Maddie, what's your favorite part of this episode?
I don't know. At first, I think it was when right at the beginning when Red Thorn is reading the letter from the gamer, That's like one of my favorite parts, but I just love the entire shade of like Red Thorn towards Black Panther, the narrator towards every character. There's like so much going on that it makes me love this episode like in of itself, just because there's a lot to unpack. I mean, you have these kids that are literally going up a villain, you know, like going against the villain that, you know, probably they think at this point in stage of their like career they shouldn't be doing that, but they're doing something amazing. So I think that premise is like really hitting really hard, and I really like that premise, and it's probably like my favorite overall theme of the episode. But yeah, the throwing around of shade and eye rolling is definitely like my favorite parts. There's so many, like you probably have to go back and re-listen to like the episode at least like 6-7 times to get them all, but yeah, it's great.
I think my favorite part to write was where Captain Whirlwind is telling the kids like, okay, listen, y'all need to step up because Black Panther already thinks I'm with her, so I can't play both sides right now. I have to keep playing the villain. So you guys got to do stuff. And then also and plus there's going to be like a lot of tension with me and Lightning Bolt in like literally 5 seconds. And they're like, what?
Like, that's an adult conversation. Tension.
Yeah. Not that kind of place.
And then when he just like full out attacks Lightning Bolt, that's my favorite scene to have written. So yeah. Do you guys have any questions for me or each other or?
I have a question.
Okay.
Monica, because obviously we literally just met. And how did you come up with your voice for Perplexia? Just because it's so wildly different. I mean, I think we all kind of sound wildly different, but like this is like outer space right now. Where I'm just like, I was thinking like, what would she sound like since we're going to be on this together? And I'm like, holy crap, this is not what I was expecting, but I don't know what I was expecting. So I'd like to know how you came up with this voice for her, because it's amazing. Obviously, I love it. I love it.
Well, you know, I actually did a character alignment chart of the characters, and like, are you chaotic neutral? Are you lawful good? Things like that. And like, Perplex is very much chaotic evil, but sometimes he's chaotic neutral. So I was like, what kind of voice sounds unhinged, but at the same time, like, she knows what she's doing. And so I kind of stepped back and like figured out what is her brain thinking. And then I was just like, all right, we're just gonna go for it.
And it just came out.
Nuts. Like, what if I actually pitched her super low at first, because I know it's a kid, and I was just like, maybe I'll just shock him. And then I pitched her in my voice, and I was like, it's close. But then I just went way up and then way down, and I was like, I did it on accident. I was like way up and then way down. I was like, ooh, I like that. So I did it again and again. I was like, you know what, this is it. We're going for it. And she just is like, it was just a lot of trial and error. It's like, did I like that? I didn't like that. I like it. So she was my weird love child. And what actually kicked it was my acting coach. He was like, yeah, do that. Just try that one. He was the one that was like, just see what you got. And he's like, do that weird thing again. I was like, got it.
And it worked. Like, when I heard you do oh God, what line was it? Oh, I've never played with hero kids before. I was like, oh my God, that's her. Like, almost insane, but still like a kid.
Yes. She's a little nuts. I was like, I hope she likes this, because I knew when I sent the audition tape, like, this is gonna be real creepy. Maybe it was too creepy. Like, you know, you have that regret when you're like, maybe I should send her another one. It's like, you know what? I'm not.
Like, if she likes it, she likes it.
Yeah, because after I listened to it and I sent it to you, like I listened to it immediately after again. I was like, "Oh, this is so creepy."
And that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted creepy because everyone sounds like the whole series up until episode 7 is like happy-go-lucky and oh, these kids are learning how to be heroes and oh, very Powerpuff Girls. But like starting from episode 7, it gets darker, obviously. So I needed like that little touch of insanity.
Well, because like I was telling you guys, I never get to play the bad guy. I'm always the good guy. I'm always the captain. It's great. Everything's fine. And then now I
Villains are better anyway.
I've heard, like, come to the bad guy side. I was like, okay, I'm gonna judge you for a bad guy. I don't think I can do a bad guy, but I'm gonna.
And here you are.
So what, I guess, when I first was listening and going through Sidekicks, Krista, what made you really want, you probably have answered this a lot, but I just want to know why the switch then between like Powerpuff Girls and this really sweet season, and then like we get real fast, and like the last 2 episodes, like 9 and 10, it's like, hey.
Yeah. Why did I do it like that? I think because I had in my, when I was writing it or like outlining it, I already had in my head, okay, Black Panther's trying to take over the school. So I knew it wasn't gonna be happy-go-lucky forever. And then like I also wanted to keep people that were older than 13 interested in it. And you can't do that with like a whole bunch of cheesy jokes all the time. But I felt like that's the tone it was starting, like that's where it was starting to go anyways, with Black Panther basically brainwashing 2 of the heroes. Like it was already getting dark. So why not just go big or go home, basically.
Well, you brought in like Croc and then Perplexia, and like after you finished the last 2, I did go back a couple episodes, and I was like, these are really mean bad guys as opposed to this really sweet.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is escalating very quickly, and I'm like, this is very cool.
Also, like, it's, to me, like, for a hero world, that would be the real world. They wouldn't be up against bullies like Bryce. They'd be up against someone like Black Panther or Perplexia or Croc. So it's not like always gonna be happy-go-lucky. Oh, if we just tell them to do right, they're gonna do right. Like, life's not like that, unfortunately.
Perplexia doesn't know, only does right when she feels like it.
She's like, right? You mean like walk this way?
You mean like left and then go back to the right?
No, it's the other left. It's not right, the other left.
There's another left, but I like straight. That's Perplexia. She's like, I will go straight.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, that was my frame of thinking. It's just the real world. Like when you're in elementary school, everything's like fun, and then middle school gets harder, and then there's high school, and then you're hit with college, and then after college, like that's it, you're an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. If there's no more questions from anyone, I will go on to episode 10, the finale. Let me just click.
Last time on Sidekicks.
I thought you wanted to be a hero. You even begged me to come to this school instead of Evil Academy.
Lightning Bolt didn't teach us anything. I mean, she taught us things, but I want to work with you, Daddy. Well, I suppose we can put you in the pod thing.
Well, now that we have things settled, I believe it's my turn to order food.
How can you eat at a time like this?
Not hungry? That's fine. One less mouth to feed. Are we thinking sandwiches or sushi?
All the other villains stare at Dr. Poison like he's lost his mind.
Sandwiches it is. I shall return shortly. Remember our deal, Black Panther. Ashlyn stays safe.
Yes, I know.
Dr. Poison leaves his daughter's life in the hands of the most dangerous villain in Normal City to get sandwiches. All four villains turn their attention to Ashlyn, who smiles nervously. Out of the corner of her eye, she notices Derek, Cassie, and Calvin sneaking over towards Bryce, Justice, and Maddie. Calvin accidentally steps on a pencil, and Red Thorn, being the observant one, turns in the direction of the older kids.
So, guys, what do villains do while they wait to take over the world, huh?
Pray that your brainless dad doesn't have pickles on my sandwich.
Oh, now all of a sudden you care about what we're having for dinner?
My moods come and go.
I hope I get a ham and cheese sandwich.
While they are discussing food choices, Red Thorn starts to walk in the direction of Bryce, Justice, and Calvin. Ashlyn's eyes widen and she starts to find some excuse to get Red Thorn's attention. However, Black Panther does the work for her.
I'm surrounded by idiots. Red Thorn, call Dr. Poison for Hungry and Hungrier and give him their orders.
But Mistress, I just heard.
It can wait. I can't think with all these complaints about what food they're getting.
Yes, Mistress. When did I become the secretary?
As Red Thorn pulls out her cell phone, Ashlyn lets out a quiet sigh of relief. Cassie pops up from her hiding spot. Ashlyn waves them towards Bryce, Calvin, and Justice, who are struggling against the rope.
Ashlyn, what are you doing? Stretching? Gotta be all warmed up for the villainy, right?
Black Panther lifts her brow at Ashlyn. Meanwhile, Derek, Calvin, and Cassie are struggling to get the older kids free. Derek pulls out a pocket knife and cuts the rope. They pull the gags out of their mouths and quietly slip away. Justice mouths to be quiet to the rest of the kids as they tiptoes towards Lightning Bolt and Captain Whirlwind. However, Bryce and Maddie seem to be taking their time because they are reluctant to listen to the class that is much less supernaturally developed than they are. Perplexia, along with Ashlyn, walk over to check on the prisoners, spotting only Bryce and Maddie.
That's not right. I could have sworn I'd had 3 little heroes, and now there are only 2. Where do you 2 think you're going?
Oh my god! How did we get free?
I don't know. It's a miracle.
Croc, get them!
Ready to have your head bashed in, because I am.
You know what? You could have way more backup if I helped you with the evil pods. Turn them back on and wake up Maverick and Cohen, right?
Well, I'm not totally sure how to work it, but...
Oh, you're smart. I know we can figure it out together.
Ashlyn and Perplexia walk over to the evil pods. Little does Perplexia realize that all she had to do was release Maverick and Cohen.
Oh no, the wires look messed up. I can fix them.
I'm not sure that's a good idea. Do you even know what you're doing?
Sure I do. I help Dr. Poison all the time. Besides, do you really think if we just stand here, Black Panther will be proud of us? We are the newbies of the group. If anything, Red Thorn seems to be her favorite. We gotta show her up.
You're right! Red Thorn doesn't want to share the spotlight. Well, it's time for her to move over.
Ashlyn smirks to herself and fumbles with wires, changing them to the opposite color, turning them both red. Then Ashlyn walks over to the front of the pod.
I just hit the button, right?
Yeah, I think so. Let's do it. I'm excited.
What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
Ashlyn quickly hits the on button and it starts to drain the evil out of Maverick first, and Cohen twitches and his eyes snap open. The liquid that Maverick was stored in turns green, which is an odd shift because the wires are red.
Why are the wires both red? One should be green in order for him to...
Red Thorn turns slowly and glares at Ashlyn.
What did you do?
I don't know.
Really, you don't know. Well, let me see if I can jog your memory.
No, really, I don't know. I just changed the wire colors. I didn't know it was going to have an effect on...
I am going to kill you.
Don't you have a manual or something? I know. Maybe I can fix it.
You two have done enough. Don't you dare come near my invention. Both of you, sit over there.
But Croc doesn't know how to function without me.
Sit.
Both girls plop on the ground with a defeated look. On the other side of the cellar, Justice, Calvin, Cassie, and Derek are sneaking over to untie Captain Whirlwind and Lightning Bolt. However, their rope is much thicker and is taking time to slice through. Justice pulls out her cell phone and begins dialing. The operator picks up.
911, what's your emergency?
Yes, we were being held hostage at Super Academia by a group of villains.
Oh my. What's your name?
Does that even matter right now?
No, it doesn't. Hello? Hello? Is anyone there?
Black Panther snatches the phone from Justice and hangs up. She smashes the phone.
It's such a shame that you don't have any powers. Isn't it, Justice? Not like your sister's Stars and Stripes.
First of all, my powers will come. One day, I think. Second of all, those aren't my sisters. Those are my partner.
No one cares. I don't understand how you and Speedshot are related. She was one of the best villains next to me, of course. And she could have it all, but she gave it up to be a loser.
I'm telling her you said that.
Don't you dare! She threatened to spay me.
How is that even a thing?
I don't know, but I'm not interested in finding out.
Black Panther grabs Justice, and suddenly out of nowhere, a loud scream comes from behind Black Panther. It's Cassie, and whatever she's doing, it is causing her pain. Her hair is growing out way longer than expected, since it hasn't been 4 weeks. It wraps around Black Panther's leg, causing her to drop Justice.
Let go of me, you little brat! Red Thorn, where are you?
Coming, mistress.
Red Thorn leaves Ashlyn and Perplexia to their own devices as she goes to attempt to save Black Panther. At the same time, Bryce and Maddie are busy battling Croc.
Just give up. You aren't going to win. You're only kids.
Only?
Kids?
Maddie and Bryce give each other a look and grasp hands. They both speed around Crocodile. Bryce uses his free hand to spit ice out at Crocodile. Since his skin is like that of a crocodile, he laughs as he lifts his ice-covered feet.
Well, it's been fun, but we gotta go.
On something they had been experimenting with during the semester was combining their powers, since they are the two strongest in their class. It hasn't been successful except for once when they were practicing. And considering this has been their first battle, trying to use it again without a clear understanding of what attacks work best on who wasn't the most brilliant of attacks. Meanwhile, Ashlyn has gotten up from the corner that she was supposed to be in and taps the glass case that Maverick is stuck in, accidentally hitting the button that opens it up. Maverick's eyes slowly open.
Oops. Hey, Maverick. How you doing? You got any plans to kill us?
Ashlyn, what happened?
Oh my god. You again? I think Bryce and Maddie said you were turned into a bad guy and you tried to kill them. Or was it the Perplexia and Croc that you tried to kill them? Either way, they said you were bad now.
That's weird. I don't remember doing any of that. The last thing I tried to do was tell Black Panther that we weren't learning things. She told us we had to see things from the villain's point of view in order to be able to defeat them. But after that, everything goes black.
As great as this reunion is, another loud scream erupts coming from Bluebird Boy, I guess that's the name we're going with, and the glass he's trapped in breaks. His eyes are red, which is probably a bad thing.
Maverick, I see you brought someone for us to play with.
Huh? Cohen, why are your eyes red?
Ooh, are we gonna play now?
Wait, who is she?
Crap, I forgot about her.
Ashlyn, who's your friend? It's me, not to introduce everyone.
My name is Matt the Blaze.
That's even dumber than Fry.
I don't think now is the time to make fun of my super cool hero name, Ashlyn.
You're right, I'll do it later.
I don't think you're a villain in training, Ashlyn.
Ashlyn and Maverick get into fighting stance. Cohen and Perplexia do the same.
Really? That was your first hint? You can call me Color Code.
The fight begins between Color Code, the Blaze, Bluebird Boy, and Perplexia. Fire erupts from the ground, blocking Perplexia and Bluebird Boy. On the other side, Croc, Bryce, and Maddie are still fighting. While they are extremely experienced with battling villains, they are giving him a run for his money. They eventually run past Ashlyn and Maverick. Bryce steps in and throws an ice wall between them, blocking them off for the time being.
Okay, we have to figure out a way to tie them up and then go save Lightning Bolt and Captain Whirlwind. Do you have anything?
You're asking me? I had a hard time with the shorty and your boyfriend.
He's not my boyfriend. New plan. We knock Cohen out, then tie them up. Then go get Lightning Bolt and Captain Whirlwind. This would be really cool if it wasn't so scary.
Guys, we should probably do something other than just stand here and talk.
Suddenly, the wall of ice breaks, revealing Crocodile, Perplexia, and their new friend, Bluebird Boy. The three kids get into fighting position and begin to attack. Speaking of Lightning Bolt and Captain Whirlwind, let's check in on them. They both have fully woken up. Lightning Bolt is struggling against the ropes as Captain Whirlwind grunts in pain.
Oh, God, I feel like someone hit me over the head with a bat.
It wouldn't surprise me, but you deserve it.
I warned you, didn't I? I said you wouldn't be fond of my plan.
You attacked me with your tornado strike. More of a warning would have been nice.
At least you had some inclination of what I would do.
No, actually I didn't. I had no idea you were going to use your attacks against me.
Well, then maybe you shouldn't be so trusting.
What do you mean I should be more trusting?
While the old couple continues fighting about who was right and wrong in this situation, we check in on Justice, who is fist-fighting Redthorn. Sometime during this whole fight, Derek and Calvin help tie Black Panther up.
Why is everyone so scared of her? We did better than Captain Whirlwind and Lightning Bolt did. When I get out of here, you three will be the first to pay. You're going to wish that my name wasn't Black Panther because that means I am a cat, and that means I will use your faces as scratching posts and cat trees and kitty litter, and you're going to rue the day that you ever met me.
Do you think after this we'll be sent to advanced hero class?
We'll be given our hero certificates after this.
Hey, Dumb and Dumber, me and Cass are doing all the work. Think you can help out a little bit more?
Derek rolls his eyes and mentally begins choking out Redthorn. She quickly starts to turn blue.
And you. If I'm put in jail, you can be sure that you will be grounded for a week. No videos, candy, or whatever else it is you like. You'll be eating broccoli until you're dead.
Excuse me? I don't think we're supposed to kill her, Derek.
I can't kill Captain Whirlwind or the actual bad guy assistant. What color are my powers then?
Derek releases her as Black Panther keeps shouting threats and insults at them. Calvin shakes his head and ties Redthorn up. Suddenly, the door bursts open. Steelfire and police officers rush into the room, shocked to see that Black Panther and Redthorn have been tied up, while Lightning Bolt and Captain Whirlwind are also tied up.
Hey guys, welcome to the party.
Oh yeah, we're having tons of fun.
I'm not even going to ask.
Yeah, it's best that you don't.
Where are the rest of the children?
A sudden blast from the other side of the cellar alerts everyone's attention. Ashlyn, Bryce, Maddie, and Maverick come running towards the adults. Bryce's carrying co-ender seems to have gotten knocked out. Perplexity and Crocker are nowhere to be seen. The only evidence that there were more villains that need to be captured is the hole in the wall leading to a sewer.
What happened?
It's a long story.
Steelfire leads them to the police as Red Thorn and Black Panther are handcuffed.
You've won this time, you little brats. But next time you're in for a world of trouble.
Dr. Poison walks in and looks incredibly confused.
I brought dinner.
Ashlyn runs over to her dad and hugs his leg tightly. 3 weeks later, all the kids are sitting in the auditorium. With the villains Black Panther and Red Thorn having been captured and put in jail, Steelfire has agreed to award the students with medals.
This is stupid. Why do we need medals? Why can't we just have our certificates of heroism? Yeah, we totally kicked butt.
Okay, and now for a few announcements. First of all, the amount of heroics that the Sidekicks have shown is outstanding. As my last act as Dean, I am moving all the students in the Sidekick class to the Intermediate Hero class, which means you 5 kids will have your provisional certificates. Next year, you have the ability to shadow any hero you want, along with the Advanced Hero class.
Hey, Lightning Bolt, doesn't that mean you lost your job?
Yeah, I guess it does. But you don't have to sound so happy about it. Wait. That means I can go back out in the field and save lives again.
As for a replacement for Black Panther, since she had an extended leave of absence, very extended, congrats to Miss Cambridge, who will not only be teaching the intermediate students, but the advanced students as well.
I'm sorry. What? I thought you didn't need me once the kids changed classes.
Steelfire gave us a survey of who we'd like to keep teaching our class.
Of course we would choose you.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. You're freaking Lightning Bolt. That's
so sweet, you guys. But wouldn't you learn more from I don't know, Captain Whirlwind?
Yeah, wouldn't you learn more from me?
Duh. That's why we all nominated you as TA.
Yeah, we love you as our teacher, buddy.
The correct term is TA.
No one cares, Calvin.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys, but I think I'm in line for...
And now for my final announcement as Dean. I am also leaving for an extended absence. Until I return, I have found a replacement. Please welcome your new Dean, Dean Trailer.
What? Where did he come from?
Hello, students. I've been watching you for a very long time.
That's a stupid name.
Hey guys, look. It's the Dean trailing through.
Maverick, you're trying too hard. Be more like Derek. He doesn't care about anything.
The new Dean, who was actually pretty handsome if I do say so myself, clears his throat as he looks at his notes. And now, for my first official hire. God, this is so exciting. Okay. Please welcome our new sidekick teachers, Miss Callahan and her TA, Mr. Duke, and Dr. Poison's towel boy, Tristan Darcy. Why does he need a towel boy? Why do I need a towel boy? All 3 new teachers step out on the stage. Miss Callahan looks strangely familiar along with her TA. They resemble Perplexity and Crocodile. The only difference is that her hair is a solid shade of black, and Crocodile is in long sleeves and long pants. He's also wearing gloves, which is weird in itself, but let's face it, this whole show has been one weird bunch of circumstances.
This is going to be so much fun. I've never taught a class before.
Me neither. I am enthused.
Thank God we aren't psychics anymore.
Why do I have to be the towel boy? I go to one convention and get stuck with the shortest straw.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go, Learnton. I don't know, save the world or something. As the kids gather around Lightning Bolt, she pulls out a letter. No one notices that Maverick and Cohen's eyes flash red before going back to their normal eye color.
I'm so proud of you guys. You really showed your true colors. Cass, why is your hair still 8 feet long? You don't have to keep it that length.
Yes, I do. It's stuck. I've never made it this long before, and now I can't get it back to normal hair length.
Have I mentioned how incredibly stoked I am to be the TA again? Where the hell did that guy come from anyways? Dean Trailer. What a hack. The job was supposed to be mine.
Anyways, we do have a sad announcement. We got a letter from some school going north or west or I don't know. My sister runs it and I never cared where it was actually located, but apparently Justice has missed a whole semester. She wasn't actually part of this class.
What? You mean I was never enrolled with a bunch of children? Who would have guessed?
But we were going to sign our costumes together.
What, after you frame me for another crime? Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
I know you're disappointed, Ashlyn, but you can design your costume with Cassie. Justice, you could have just told us you weren't enrolled in the school. Yeah. My sister is in for a surprise. You don't even have your powers yet.
First of all, I did tell you. I told you every single day that I didn't belong here.
With that, Lightning Bolt pulls out her phone and calls a zipper, and immediately it zips to the school.
Well, there you go. Enjoy your new school.
No, I wasn't done talking to you. You're not cutting me off this.
Lightning Bolt ignores her and starts leading her new class to the classroom. Ashlyn runs over to Justice and hugs her tightly.
Sorry I was so mean to you before. You're actually pretty cool. Have fun at your new school.
Ashlyn runs off to catch up with her class, and Justice tears up a little.
You too, kid. You're going to be something great. I can tell.
This episode was sponsored by Zipper Vehicles. Oh, this isn't a written one? What do you mean I don't have copy of it? All right, fine. This episode was sponsored by Zipper Vehicles. Need to zip somewhere? Call a zipper vehicle, and we'll zip you to your destination of choice that you need to be at. Place. Zipper Vehicles! And if you would like to help sponsor us for Season 2, check out our Patreon link below, on our Facebook page, and everywhere else. As always, have a super day, and hopefully by next season, I'll have a better catchphrase.
And scene.
There's so much going on in this chat.
There's a lot to go through there.
Right? Okay.
Plot twist galore.
Oh yeah, for sure. My brain just didn't stop when I was writing that episode. So, any questions? I'm thinking. And if you guys have any questions for me, go ahead. Okay, we'll start with what's your favorite scene, both of you?
Who do you want to go first?
We'll go with Monica.
Oh my. I was still thinking because it was just like there's so much to talk about. My favorite scene is just very benign, and maybe it's just like the small part of comedy in me. It's like he goes out to get these sandwiches and like what are these sandwiches? Like, did he take a car? And he just like brought the sandwiches. You're like, bruh, you missed this whole thing.
The best part was, even if he had been there, if Dr. Poison had been there, he wouldn't have been that much help, honestly. He would have, the thing about Dr. Poison is he's a really bad villain, and I don't mean that as like he's bad. I mean like he doesn't know what he's doing. He likes to think of himself as like Lightning Bolt and Captain Rowan's biggest nemesis, but he's not. Like he's small fries to them. So
he's small. He's real small. It's just like I'm just like watching like listening to him on the last two. It's just like you're right. He really doesn't.
Yeah.
He tries real hard though. He does.
Yeah. And that's the endearing part. He tries, but
so hard. All right. What's your favorite scene there, dear friend Maddie?
Like you said, there's so much to unpack in this episode. Like this is my favorite episode. And not just because it's the season finale, but just that there is so much good in this episode. What would really be like my favorite part? And I don't want to be like all of it. I think between actually having Red Thorn talk to somebody that wasn't Black Panther, because I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, outside of maybe if she had to talk to any of the children in previous episodes, she's usually only talking to Black Panther all the time. So to get a little bit of extra scenes with her talking to her Perplexia and then Ashlyn and like all these other scenes where you see different sides of her, because usually she's just like nonchalant, whatevs, I'm just gonna go with it. But then you have that scene where she's just like, I'm going to kill you if you touch my stuff. Like, don't do that. You know, and then she's like never gotten angry. She's never got, I mean, she sounds annoyed, but it's everything is just like, it just kind of rolls off her. But then when you like touch something that you shouldn't and you clearly did not ask permission for, she's just like, murder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I think just a lot of the interactions just between not even just her, but just the kids, and going back to Ashlyn's like, guys, we need to be a hero and save everyone, and just everyone kind of working together, even though they have their like myths of like, go save your boyfriend, he's not my boyfriend, but everybody helped everyone, and moral of the story, you're gonna be a hero, you know. So it's like those little things are great.
I loved your Red Thorn. I meant to tell you earlier, but it's just listening to her even just back to back now. It's just like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've done something wrong. Is it me? Is it me? Like, it's such a good, like, I like how you delivered her. It's just like, I felt I was in trouble. And you know what I mean, Krista? It's like,
exactly. I was like, oh my god, I think this actually finally broke Red Thorn, because I don't think anyone's ever been able to get past her calm exterior, and Ashlyn and Perplexia together did it.
It's like, I am now considering murder. I mean, it was on my mind before, but like, I'm really considering it right now.
I love how
it's right here.
Her timeouts were just like moved with her. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna go here. I know you said you're gonna kill me. That's cool, but no regard for anyone else. Just like, you know, this is great. This is good. This is good.
It's like, I'm with Crocs, so that's good, right?
God, he's bad alone. He can't be alone.
Exactly.
Didn't she actually wind up leaving him alone anyway? Like, didn't they never meet up to fight?
She did. Yeah.
She left him alone when she went with Ashlyn. And then somewhere near the end, during the big fight, they came together and left through the sewer.
Right.
But yeah, she pretty much ditched him.
Yeah.
We should have stayed in timeout like I told you to.
My timeout square moves with me. It's a bubble. I am in timeout wherever I am. But I like she did help the kids. So it's like, maybe she has some sort of like compassion within her. And I think she does because she cares about Croc.
Mm-hmm.
Point. But then again, I'm very excited to see like, oh gosh, is that gonna stick? Because I imagine span being like this big. So it's like,
right?
You gotta actually care. But she loves the kids. I think she does love the kids. And she doesn't like Red Thorn because
yeah,
okay, I don't like you either.
I'm just gonna say, Lexi doesn't like you. If it wasn't clear, she doesn't like you.
She's like,
Feeling
Red
is
Thorn is in
mutual.
my way. I need to be on that internship.
I need this move. She just let you go. She just let you, just left you.
She like went on. I like it kills me about the rant about you wish you weren't going to be kitty litter because I like she just goes on that whole entire rant and it kills me every time because it's just like, is this necessary right now?
The best part is that wasn't even written into the script. I told the actress for Black Panther, I was thinking, I let Andre, who plays the narrator, improv a lot. So I'm gonna let someone else do a little improv. And I was like, oh, here's some threats. I can't think of anything that's really good right now. So here you go. Have fun. And that's what she came up with. I was thinking about like cutting it into bits and pieces. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna let her rant.
It's great because it's just that like you listen to her and then you're like, oh, Black Panther, obviously she's a cat, but she's like, I'm going to tell you all the literal ways I'm a cat if you didn't get it from my name.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't know.
And like the level of detail, it's like, we're gonna do this and then I'm gonna do this and then kitty.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
And then the kids are like, did you hear something? No, we need medals. That's what we need while we're doing this. Yeah.
Such a little regard for actual villains.
Exactly. That's boys for you though. So
I mean, they did get kind of their not butts handed to them, but that's like, oh gosh, these are real villains. This is happening.
Yeah. This is a thing we're doing, I guess.
Like, this isn't a test. This is not a drill.
Literally not a drill.
This is not Captain Whirlwind throwing balls at us to catch or whatever.
Oh, wasn't that the dodgeball episode? Was that? No, that wasn't that. I do remember.
It's
something like that.
Episode 5 or 6 where Captain Whirlwind is training them, and he's throwing balls at them. So it's kind of like dodgeball, except he's the only one throwing it, and they have to they have to dodge it. So like Ashlyn makes a huge joke of it. She's like, if we're gonna play dodgeball, why don't we just play dodgeball? I mean, all we have to do is dodge the ball, right?
Ashlyn is on some next level stuff. You need to put her in like an AP class or just have her just go to high school. Like she is just way advanced.
I think because so since she is Dr. Poison's daughter, I think she's already like I know what happens in the villain world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little knowledgeable about it, so cut me some slack.
I think that with her, that could get her in a lot of trouble. I was surprised that she made it out so unscathed in the last finale. She
wouldn't have if Black Panther didn't interrupt Red Thorn.
Black Panther
could have literally made her kitty litter, and you had to screw it up.
Like, she was getting in trouble for her smart aleckiness, but now not so much.
Right? Yeah. She's that one hero where you're like, someone needs to take you down a peg.
She is, and it's like, but I also want her to be good and
yeah.
Like, I just want so much for her.
No.
I just want her to be a happy, normal child. But then at the same time, I look at her dad. I'm just like, I see why she's like almost has to feel like she has to be the adult.
Yeah.
You know?
Pretty much. I think my favorite part that I wrote in this episode was actually the last scene where Justice has to go to her actual school. I almost cried, guys.
Aww.
Yeah, like the scene, the part where Ashlyn is like, hey, sorry for being such a butt, and you're really cool, and I hope you like your new school, bye. I was like, oh my god, little Ashlyn, you pure soul, you.
Her heart grew 3 times its size, or
yeah, exactly.
I was like, let's not do 10, that's a lot.
It's a lot. 3 times its normal size. She actually does have a heart and she cares.
Exactly. And then like just the whole, because everyone's been basically ignoring Justice this whole time, and I did that for a reason, because she's not actually part of this world that I wrote. She was created by a friend of mine, so I had to like pull her back so she could go back to her own world. But like there were things like no one really knowing her name, and she doesn't have powers, and so like everyone basically ignoring her, and that was the riff I kind of took off, like, oh well, you're gonna go to this new school, you should have just told me, Justice, that you didn't actually belong. And she's like been saying it literally every episode.
It kind of reminds me of there's something, oh my god, it's like literally at like the front of my brain, and it's like trying to escape, where like if a character is around but everybody just perpetually forgets them unless they are literally around them like 24/7. So it's like, you know, she's there and you may see her like walk in the door and like sit down at her desk, but then when it's lunchtime her desk is empty and you're just like, who sits there was somebody sitting there, right? And then like it's like, I'm gonna find the name. It's actually a manga, and oh my god, and it's literally, oh my god, I read it like a couple of years ago, where it's about like, it's kind of like about how this girl kind of has amnesia, and this one guy always introduced himself to her like every day, and it kind of reminds me of that, because it's like everybody literally knows Justice. It's not like they don't know who she is, it's just that everybody literally keeps forgetting.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of this like phenomena. It's just that like it just keeps happening. I'm gonna find it. I swear I'm gonna find it. It's really good. You should give it a read. I'm gonna remember it and I'm gonna find it for you.
I actually did that in one of the episodes. I forgot Calvin was in the episode for the dodgeball episode, and then I'm like, I feel like I'm missing someone. And then I was like, oh crap, Calvin. He hasn't even
that one character.
Yeah. I was like, he hasn't even been throwing the ball or anything. I was like, okay, he has to be doing something. What is he doing? I was like, hey, look, it's Calvin. He has somehow not been hit by the ball, but he's been staring at butterflies this whole time.
They forgot he was playing.
Yeah, essentially.
Like the way Justice is, I know, I think I've heard a tickle of the manga you might be talking about, but it reminds me of like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead, or they're like in there and they're like doing stuff in the like Hamlet play, and then like they're gone. I was like, where? You had friends? Yes, I had friends, and it's like.
What are your predictions for season 2? Monica.
Like character-wise or plot-wise?
Any and all.
I feel like Red Thorn is like, since we've opened that emotional range for her, is just gonna be like really mad about what happened in the last season. So I feel like we're gonna see a lot more of her, you know, maybe more character development from her. And I think the kiddos, since they've been in like their first real battle, are gonna be like, you're gonna see some like try to rise up, and then you're gonna see ones that are like really afraid. So as far as Perplexia goes, I was a little shocked at her plot twist. She's like hanging out with the kids now.
I have reasons for that.
I'm so ready. So ready. I think she's gonna at least have some anchor, because Croc was her anchor in some sort of way, and now she's like, maybe she'll protect the kids more. Maybe she'll throw them off a cliff, but then save them later. Like, I feel like she's gonna be that weird, crazy aunt to the kids now. It's like, Perplexia may or may not be there, and she may or may not help, but at least she might be there. Like, it's like that.
Exactly.
She may consider helping, but she may not help. She's thinking about it.
She's weighing her cons and pros, her pros and cons.
Like, any fun? Yes or no? If the answer is no, we still might go anyway just to watch. But if the answer is yes, then we're going. Like, her dodgeballs, like dodgeballs with spikes on them. And can you do that to the kids? Like, well, they're dodging it so they can. It's like,
actually love that.
I think you need to have a dodgeball episode part 2 next season.
Perplexia teaches the kids how to really dodge for their lives.
Oh my god.
Like, she'll be the teacher that's like the real world experience teacher.
Exactly.
And then Lightning Bolt comes in. You can't do that. No one said I can't.
No one said I can't. I didn't sign anything. I'm not even a licensed teacher, and you just let me in. Like,
you could just be like, "Oh, I'm new here. I didn't know."
Exactly. I don't think that's gonna help the kids. Do you see them? They're all moving faster.
Much faster than when I first got here 2 days ago. Now they run whenever they see me.
Suddenly, all the kids have dropped out of her class.
Right?
True. I'm very excited to see how that goes. I just want her to not even try to be good, like her intentions of like, yes, I'm going to be a good teacher. She's like, I'm going to teach you kids something.
We gonna learn today.
All
right, Maddie, what are your predictions?
Red Thorn is the true villain, and she takes over everything. The end. That is season 2. I've just now spoiled the entirety of season 2.
It's true.
I really would love to see like Red Thorn come into her own, just because you get a little bit of the side story of everybody. Obviously, the Lightning Bolt and Captain Whirlwind really have like the most prominent like interactions. So you kind of know their backstory just from how they interact. And I feel the Red Thorn and Black Panther relationship wasn't really too defined. Obviously, it's like villain in training. So it's like your boss, intern. So it's like you know the dynamic, but like I feel like because there is that shift where she does get angry, like there's something more there. Which I would like to see that explored a bit. I would love to see more. I know we had spoken about it, but definitely knowing more about the older class, because I think this season really focused on like the younger kids, and then the older kids are like, oh, we're bullies because we're older and we're better, like, because that's what kids unfortunately do. But definitely knowing how they grow into their own. And I'm thinking of another good prediction. I mean, we've spoke about this, but then like it's like not a spoiler, because if you listen to the episode, you probably have an inkling that one of the kids are possibly evil. So just, I mean, we said a pod the whole time. I mean, I don't know. You know, so knowing how that's gonna play into it, because now the only like villains in the school are Croc and Perplexia right now versus, you know, Red Thorn and Black Panther. So and you know and Dr. Poison when he gets his life together. So, so it's interesting how I feel like it's kind of gonna be like this undercover switching sides, because it's like mind control. So it's like he's in control, but then he may switch and try to kill someone. So I'm interested in knowing about the pod children.
The pod children.
Thank you, me. Like, thank you, yes, thank you. But that's what I think is gonna be a thing. Like, definitely, I think Red Thorn is gonna leave Black Panther in jail. Peace. Bye. and definitely, I don't know, maybe recruit the evil child. Maybe that child would become her sidekick. But we'll see.
We shall see. Okay, I'm gonna go to the chat and kind of touch on some of this stuff we were talking about during the episode.
Oh no.
We're talking about a lot, so if you see a lot of our faces where it's not a funny moment, but we're laughing, like, it's because of the chat.
Okay, so in the chat, we talked a lot about like the relationships with some of the characters, and it's very lightly touched on in a lot of the episodes, specifically 10. So, let's see, what do I want to say? So, Cohen is basically Bryce's best friend. So they're always linked together. So that's kind of the joke that Ashlyn makes when she's like, well, something, your boyfriend. I don't even remember the line. But yeah, that's why. Just wanted to touch on that. And I don't know what I'm doing with relationships as far as any of them go. I know there are a few characters that are crushing on people. But yes.
Let the shipping wars begin.
I'm here for it.
Ship away, people. Ship.
Tell us your predictions in the comments below.
Yes. I will actually give one away. Dr. Poison and Lightning Bolt.
Oh.
They aren't dating, and I'm not sure if they would date, but Dr. Poison likes her alias, Miss Cambridge, but he doesn't know that Miss Cambridge and Lightning Bolt are the same people because he's an idiot.
It's the Sailor Moon effect. He just doesn't. They may look the same, but clearly it's not her.
Yeah,
the shiny barrettes on the buns, man. It just.
Yeah,
that's not Sailor Moon. How dare you say that's Sailor Moon?
Same person.
Exactly.
Where it's just like a fake mole and then takes off the fake mole, and there's a difference in her aliases.
Lightning Bolt, she actually wears a mask, like a white mask. Yeah, a white mask. So I don't know, maybe that he's like, Miss Cambridge doesn't wear a mask around her eyes all the time.
Oh, he would say that. That sounds like something he would say.
I have no faith in this man.
And Ashlyn, who's like her biggest fan, is like, Dad, seriously?
I can see them like sitting at like dinner and arguing about this. Like Ashlyn's like, that is Lightning Bolt. Miss Cambridge is Lightning Bolt. Dad, I don't know how you see it. Ashlyn, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I can just see that being a conversation at dinner between them. How dare you compare those two? I don't like that heathen Lightning Bolt. How dare?
He's like, then you can't like Miss Cambridge.
You don't like. It's just cloth, dude. It's not even that serious. Not even like a full hood.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, the kids do like each other. Like, there are people in their class that they may or may not like romantically. And I might play with that a little bit.
They're they're around that age, some of them. So
yeah,
I think it would be odder if there wasn't any interest, just because of like the age group where you're just like feelings. I don't know how I feel about this.
And the younger kids are like, cooties or no?
Yeah.
And then like you always have that age of like the suggestion of the will they won't they's. Like that's the perfect. It's like, he likes me. I don't know if she likes me, and you just
exactly.
What are feelings?
Yeah. Well, you can always talk to your teachers and your TAs about tension.
Exactly. I feel like they'd be like, okay, here's the first rule of thumb. Never date who you're working with. Seriously.
And the kids would be like, we're not working with, that's my classmate. I'm not working with them.
The same thing, kiddo. Let Perplexity tell you.
Yeah. What are you guys' ships for this series so far?
Red Thorn Villainy. That is my ship.
Red Thorn plus Villainy is I love it. Justice for Red Thorn.
I don't know, like I'm curious to know, even though like Bryce and Maddie are like the most like the smartest kids in the class, like for them to the idea of them coming together to combine their powers, like I'm like there has to be something there, because it's like, think about like when you're in a group project, right? Like you usually have to have some compatibility or it just doesn't work. So there's something there. I feel like it doesn't have to be romantic, but there's something there for their powers to work together. And if that's a ship, I would be here for it. I mean, I'm never not here for a ship, but like even if, like I said, even if it's not romantic, I would definitely want to know more about those two. But it also goes in with knowing more about the older kids in general as well. I think that's probably my biggest in like quotes ship. Re-listening to this episode, I would be interested in knowing more about Perplexia and Croc, because that's interesting.
First of all, don't ask me.
Like, what are feelings? I don't know.
That's a whole thing. And I can't lie. I was like, I want to know too. If there's what
it seemed like very not intimate, but just like they had that connection.
Yes. Yes, I felt very connected. It's like, this is either my super good like buddy OTP, like love this guy's ship, or it's like this romantic thing where he's just hanging around her for kicks and giggles until she realizes that he has loved her the whole time.
Maybe it'll make her mentally stable if she understands feelings.
Or maybe it'll make her worse.
Okay, I was trying to be positive about it.
It might make her worse. It might. Because she'll be like, you know what? If it's not for Croc, it's evil. So she'll try to like destroy everything.
Exactly.
Okay.
You touched my Croc, time to die.
Right. So it's just not good for Perplexity to know what feelings are.
Hey, Heard.
What was my other? I actually really, I'm glad you did say something about Dr. Poison and Lightning Bolt, because I was like, I want him to be someone that's very capable. Like, she sounds very capable. He just needs.
He needs a helping hand.
Yes,
he does. He really does.
Like, you're doing your. I love him. I love that character. I just.
He's my favorite to write. I'm like, how can I fit him into this episode some kind of way?
Yeah.
You threw him out. You were just like, go get some sandwiches. Go back up in 20 minutes.
Exactly, to make sure he didn't go to jail.
I was like, bro, where are these sandwiches? Did you not drive? Like, I like how you use him. He just has this. He doesn't have this huge amount of things to say, but just like the timing and his placement is just like, it's beautiful. And so but he's hapless. That's the word I've been trying to say, hapless. It's someone that's very capable and takes care.
Incapable.
And then maybe Ashlyn will feel like less of an adult and she's like, oh, thank goodness someone's taking care of my dad, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I could finally be a child.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's like, child, what is that? I don't even know.
I had to pick my dad up from the grocery store because he went 15 miles away. Like,
Oh my god. The sad thing is that I can see that happening. Like, Dad, we're out of milk. Can you just go to the store and go pick it up? And then it's like 3 hours later and he has not come home. And he's like, I went to go buy milk 4 towns over and then had to go save a cat from a tree and then got hit by a car on the way. And there's just a lot of things, Ashlyn, okay? I tried to go get you some 2% milk.
The best part is, like, she's supposed to be his sidekick, right, Ashlyn? And so in the episode where Captain Whirlwind is training them, he's like, okay, imagine that this blue potion is a poison that's gonna kill you. And no, it's pink. No, blue. Anyways, Ashlyn is like, oh, no, it wouldn't be blue. It would be pink because I change it pink because no one's going to choose the pink one. And then she's like, oops. Because, like, she just told Captain Whirlwind her dad's secret poison colors.
Whoops.
Strings are down the peg.
Yeah. And then she's like, wait, just don't tell my dad I said that, okay? And then that's how you know they're related, because she has those moments where she says something she's not supposed to.
Yes, don't tell Ashlyn any secrets. Yeah. They may not stay with her very long.
Exactly.
At least she has some directive.
She's like, wait, if you're gonna do this, it has to be realistic. It's gonna be the pink bottle, not the blue one. And then she's like, oh, I've said too much. Okay. Do you guys have any more questions for me or about the series or comments, concerns?
I don't have any concerns. It's just I'm very excited and I'm like, what's gonna happen? Because it wasn't a cliffhanger, but it kind of was. And I'm just like, now what? You know?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Season 2, I think, is gonna be amazing. Slightly a little bit darker, not super dark, but just to keep the characters moving. But it's gonna be great.
I'm here for it. I always tend to like darker storylines. Not that this is crazy dark, you know, but I think being in this sort of story and playing a villain, like, I'm excited. Like, obviously I play a villain and I also play a sidekick, but obviously and I think also because I played Red Thorn longer, like, I'm more excited about the villain side of things than I am the hero side of things, because a lot of stories out there are like, woo, focus on the heroes, woo, heroes. I'm like, I'm here for villains. I like villains. When it comes to like video games, I tend to like villains more than I like the heroes. So it's like, this story really talks about the villain side of things, and I super appreciate that, because not many people tackle that, because they're just like, ooh, that's evil, we can't talk about evil here. And I'm like, no, we can talk, we're talking about it right now.
Yes.
So I really like that dynamic, because it's like a good balance. Like, it's not too much superheroism and it's not too much evil. Like, it's a good symmetry. That, you know, you focus, you know, on the characters growing up trying to figure out their powers, but then you talk about, you know, these evil people who are trying to take over a school, then the world, because, you know, the school somehow you have to defeat a school before you level up to the world, but you have, you know, you talk about that story. So I'm really excited for season 2. I'm hoping that the adults get more involvement, because obviously it's been focused on the kids. So like villain crew and actual like adults and teachers just learning more about everyone, and hopefully we need to petition for Dr. Poison to have a girlfriend.
Yeah, for sure.
We need
also trying to work that in a little bit as well. I will give
we need someone for him.
Tiny spoiler, it's not going to affect the storyline or anything, but he is going to get on an online dating site, so that's going to be fun.
Ooh. I'm excited for this. Can Ashley help? Oh my god, can she? Oh my god, please let her help. Please let her help. She has to take the perfect picture for him. Oh my god, please let her help. Please.
Like, hold still, Dad, like this.
Exactly.
Like,
it's
no,
like, I
Dad,
need you to
not like
hold
that.
up that sandwich that you got at the end of season 1 that we never got.
No one ate.
Gosh.
No one ate.
Yeah, exactly. No one ate except for Dr.
Wasted his
and Ashley.
he wasted his own money, I guess. I mean, they had sandwiches for literal weeks.
Exactly.
Meal prep.
Yeah. So yeah, he will be on a dating site. So that's gonna be fun to play with.
Oh, but I'm excited. Like I will quit if Ashlyn does not write this profile for him. Like, I will be like, because this needs to happen. Like, this is a good idea, and it needs to.
It's like he would start a dating profile, and then it'd be like 3 weeks later, and she's like, you know what? I'm just gonna steal Dad's password. And she'll just.
Yes.
Oh my god. I mean, like, and she has to obviously note his favorite color, just because.
It's gonna be pink. It's always gonna be pink. He hates it. Like, if you don't like pink, then you can't date me.
Swiping.
Swipe left if you don't like pink.
Exactly.
That should be his bio.
Yeah.
That's just his whole bio. Swipe left if you don't like pink. It's like, okay.
And then he'd say something like, Ashlyn, what did I tell you about logging into my laptop? Stop hacking into your computer. Unless it's.
I'm trying to get you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you a girlfriend, Dad. This is productive. You need this.
You need a better password than 1234. Like,
yeah, password 1234.
You need a better password than kill lightning bolt.
Right. Like, better passwords.
Oh my god! And then he needs to update it, and it's like kill lightning bolt !
Yes. Could you imagine the shade the narrator would like throw? Because I think shady narrator as is. Like, I'm just not over that. I'm like, geez.
Collections for where I put too many crocodiles in the sentence. He's like, crocodile. I'm like, okay. I get it. I wrote it down too many times.
Our narrator is great. Like MVP to the series literally goes to the narrator.
Yes.
He's very, he's like almost announcery, but then it's like mockery of announcery, and it's just so much fun. I could just listen to Andre just read the scene transitions.
They were great. Yeah, it was just amazing. I don't know why I didn't cast him as the narrator to begin with.
Hindsight.
Yeah, exactly.
You just find those little gems of people. It's like, you know, even as voice actors, it's hard. We don't see ourselves doing some things. Mm-hmm. And when we get to do opportunities that we wouldn't imagine ourselves in, it's like, wow, I didn't know I'd be a narrator on a kid's sidekick. Shows me what I thought I'd be doing. And it's like, but we love him. He's just such a great job.
Yeah.
It's like, I couldn't hear anyone else do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and narrators are, I mean, outside of them having a lot of lines usually in general, it's just like, that's not easy.
No.
Yeah.
It's not like you're just like, I'm going to read these lines. It's like, no, you're actually acting, but you can't be too much because you're not a character.
Exactly.
Like it's a very interesting line that not many people can walk. Like, I know I can't walk that line. I've tried, and mentally I feel like I need to read so I'm not acting too much so people don't think it's a character. Like it's a very, very tough line to walk, and he like perfect. It's so good.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't get to be, I get either to be the narrator of something else, not usually or a hero, and so I get to just hearing how Andre does it. I'm like, ooh, I should try that. Like, I'm learning from him as well as like, oh, he inflects this way, so he's just. I hope he listens to this since we're bragging on him so much.
Right.
This has been like voice actor love. Like we're like, yeah, we like our characters, but look at all these other characters we love.
Exactly.
Guy, he's so good.
We love everyone in the cast. End of story.
Everyone is so good, and it's nice to actually see your faces or see some of your faces.
Right.
And listen in when I'm not sleeping. So I was just like, oh my gosh, these guys are so good. What else?
We have a very we have a very diverse cast from the times that I've kind of hopped on some of the listen throughs and commentaries. But I think what's also really great, and I would definitely say this through all of the episodes, maybe not the earlier ones because it's been a while since I've listened to them, is that all of this sounds entertaining. Like sometimes, you know, you may get a person, and I mean, I'm guilty of this, that doesn't sound like they're acting, like they're just reading. And we don't have that. Like everybody is super involved, where like the scenarios as they're being acted out, even if it sounds unrealistic. Like if Perplexia were to actually have dodgeballs with spikes, like that's an unrealistic situation, but like with the voice actors and actresses that we have, we make it so believable that I'm just like, this could literally happen. Like, and it doesn't, like, no one ever really sounds forced, no one ever really sounds unsure of their lines. Like we just kind of roll with it. And that's something that I feel like, especially when you're first starting out and it's like the first season of your like audio drama or podcast, like it's always really hard that you don't have someone that just sounds like they're reading, even if you are also that person that does that. Like I feel like we don't have that at all. Right. And I think that just kind of elevates everything so much more, you know, because it's like I've listened to Sidekicks a good number of times through, and it's like I listened to when I was employed before, you know, pandemic. Like I used to listen to it at work, and I would be sitting there trying not to like laugh to myself because I'm like trying to get work done, but then like the narrator says something silly, and I'm like, you know, yes. But like it's never been like a uncomfortable like listen through. It's always I feel like every time I listen to it, like I'm always hearing something new or discovering something that I'm like, how did I not notice that before? I mean, even now, like we were in the chat and I'm like, why do I not remember this? Why did I not notice this? And this would literally be the third time in about a month that I've heard these same episodes and I'm still hearing new things.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, my choo-choo train of thought just left the station. This is like I love going back to the like listening to a narrator. Sometimes you can block them out. And like I said in the chat, I was like, how I can't unhear this now. Like all I hear is them being so sarcastic. It's like, and I'm just like, it took. This might be the second or third time I've heard this episode. It has to be the second. I'm gonna say it's the second, but it's just like at first you're listening to make sure it all sounds like how it all sounds, and then like you said, it's just picking out those names. I'm like, that's new. I didn't know that. And it's like this time I didn't hear Red Thorn's range. I'm like, oh my gosh, she is different. And I'm just like, well, what happened? Is she actually gonna kill him? Like,
yes.
It's like,
I'm
and then
thinking about it.
It's like the wires. It's like they're supposed to be green. Oh right. Oh, and I like it more so, you know, when you're first starting out, you kind of cringe at the sound of your own voice listening back. And I think that's kind of what we have to get past as voice actors, because then it doesn't sound like we're reading. Because when we get past that, like, I hate the sound of my voice, you tend to check more of your work, and they're like, oh, let's tweak this, let's do this. And it's like, once we get past that fear, it's like, oh my gosh, this is what this needs to sound like. And I feel like the more comfortable we get with our voices, I think that's what the cast as a whole, or all these, just the way it's all put together, everyone's like very comfortable with like, this is happening and this is what we're going to say. And then it speaks to Krista's writing. It's like, it was very easy to act out the words you were trying to say because it made sense, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that 100%.
Yeah. Like, maybe it made it easy. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna read this. She wants it to sound like this. I got it. This is what she wants.
Yay.
And also what I think helps too, going back to the like not liking the sound of your voice, because I feel like even though sometimes we say we're okay with the sound of our voice, sometimes we're just like, oh God, why do I sound like this? And I think when I auditioned initially for Red Thorn and Maddie, and I remember not liking any of my auditions. Like, I just remember like recording them and going, I don't know how to do this. I don't know if this is what they want. This is what I think she wants. But the thing is, I don't like it. But maybe she will. And she was just like, I like it, do this. And I was like, okay, we're going with that.
Yes.
You kind of just switch, and then you suddenly are okay with the sound of your voice, because it's like you have that slight validation that this is what they wanted, this is what they were looking for, yes, do this. And I like, because the way Red Thorn sounds, because she's just very like she talks very slow, and she has like spacing between a lot of her words, which is obviously not how I sound, but like knowing that worked, because I think it was my first time actually doing a voice in that sort of range too, that I was like, it was new, I don't know what's going on, it doesn't sound good to me. But then Krista was like, yeah, that take 2 you did, yeah, that I want that. And I was like, okay. And then I had to like remember what it sounded like, and I literally played it on loop, and I was like, okay, I got it, she likes it, I can do this, this is what I'm doing. So like, even in between like episodes when we would have to record, like I would always go back to like a certain scene and a certain line to be like, okay, how does she sound like? What did she say here? Okay, got it in my head, do the thing. So that definitely helps, because voice acting is hard, because I feel like you'll get to a point where you're okay with your voice, but then you'll have those like insecurities, especially when you're trying something new and you're just like, I don't know how this will sound, but I think this is what they want, because there's a lot of like uncertainty, because you just got to sit there and guess. You know, Krista could have been like, it's a girl, villain in training. And that's it. I would have been like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Like, that's too vague. Like, I need at least like 2 more descriptors, please. you know, and sometimes you don't get that, and you just kind of have to go with it in your head. So definitely, like, the validation loop really helps with that.
Yeah, I felt the same way when auditioning. It was like, this sounds really creepy. We're just gonna, I hope it's not too creepy. This sounds super creepy. And you're like, I love it. I'm like,
I was like, yes.
Okay. Super creepy, because like you said, like, trying something new. I've never done a voice like that. I've never been so high in my register for so long, and having her voice just flexes in and out of tone so much. It's just like, I hope she likes this, because she doesn't have a consistent sound at all. This is what I got. And you're like, I love it. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean,
if you say so.
Like, if you like it, like, and then I'll go back and listen and try to get like a jumping off point when we have, because when season 2 comes out, I'll know I have to re-listen to just the recordings I sent you, just like, how did she sound? What is this? And then just like, oh gosh, I sound like that. Okay, I can do this.
I actually had to do that with Lightning Bolt and Miss Cambridge, even though they're the same people. When she's a normal person, her voice is kind of higher like this, and then when she's Lightning Bolt, it's lower. So I was like, okay, I can't talk like my normal voice, because it's not my normal voice, it's slightly higher, because she wouldn't want her Lightning Bolt voice to conflict with her normal voice, because then Dr. Poison would know possibly that Miss Cambridge is Lightning Bolt if she sounded.
I'm just imagining him like finding that out, and he's like walking alone in the rain, and like, I don't know what to do. I'm my nemesis, but I love her. Like, I can just imagine like this really dramatic scene when he finds out.
Just like, I feel like you wouldn't believe it for like 5 minutes, and they would have this like this back and forth. Like, it's not you. Tell me it's not true. Dude, I'm right here. Like,
exactly.
So, yeah, and then like she goes and gets a mask out her back pocket, like. Not see.
It's like, he's like, wait, really? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I've had to like play with the tone of my voice to keep it kind of high when she's a teacher, and then lower when she's a hero. So I totally get it. Okay. It is now 8:13 here in California, and I know it's later for you guys. So do you guys have any closing statements, anything you want to say to our watchers?
Thanks, bunch.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks a lot for supporting us and listening, because this is a lot of fun. I mean, I feel like, this was exceptionally long, but you could just tell how much we like really, really enjoy being a part of this amazing production, and just like, we have just such an amazing cast that like, I'm like, thank you. Thank you to Krista, thank you to everybody who like literally listens to us. Like, it means so much. And it's like, I'm sure to Krista, obviously it means more because you're the writer, producer, like, you are the head honcho, but it's like, for me, little villain in the corner, I'm like, oh, thank you.
Really, oh, it's nice that you guys are so kind and think we're actually entertaining to listen to.
Yeah, I hope so.
Thank you. And the support. It's like a nice, sweet fan base. You guys are so nice. There's no craziness going on.
Right? Okay, with that, we're going to end here. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also check out our Facebook page, which will be at the bottom, as well as our Patreon. So we will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.